Hey guys, James Wilson-Taylor here for Roxanne. We are backstage at Reading Leeds Festival 2021. Neck deep, fresh from the stage. The lads join me now. How are you guys?
Yo, good.
Glad to be here, finally.
Yeah, I know.
A few years off.
Just a few years off. We made it in the end. I mean, I guess that is the obvious question. You're going to get asked loads, but let's do it. How did that actually feel? I mean, I guess, Ben, I saw you download and everything. You guys obviously played at that event, but then everything kind of calmed down again, didn't it? Does it feel weird being properly back now?
A little bit, yeah. There's definitely still a little bit of COVID caution, I think. But I think a lot of people are just excited to just have this opportunity, even if it's just for a weekend or whatever. So, yeah, it's definitely a bit strange. Definitely is going to take some readjusting. But I think as soon as that first note rings out, it's like, oh yeah, straight back into it, straight back onto that. Yeah, it's what we do. We are professionals, believe it or not. I guess.
We're doing it a while now. Very pro at this point.
It's debatable, but you know, as soon as you get going, it's like nothing ever changed. So.
All comes back. Well, I guess the new aspect with download and this and moving forward, of course, is that those new songs are getting a live airing now. Finally getting to play that album out in front of the people. How's it been getting them on their feet in rehearsals and everything? You kind of had any new realizations about these tracks now that they're actually finally getting played?
Yes and no. Like, I think anytime you play like new songs, you've kind of got to adjust a little bit and like figure them out, and you've kind of got to give them like a few shows to like find what the sort of vibe is with them. And like we played When You Know today, and that was only like the second time we've played it. So
how mad is that? By the way,
minus rehearsal, we didn't. Complications due to everything that's going on in the world. We were not able to rehearse before this run, so we did have 2 warm-up shows in Chester, which were essentially
practice.
Live rehearsal.
Yeah.
So the first night we didn't play When You Know because we were like, we haven't rehearsed, we cannot play the new songs. And then the second day we sound checked and thought, oh okay, yeah, it sounds okay. We'll play this tonight. So we played that. We played it once in sound check, once during the set, and then once today.
Yeah.
So we played that 3 times ever.
Yeah.
How'd it go down?
Well, yeah, definitely,
yeah.
Yeah, it went down well, and like we didn't play Sick Joke today, but that's another one of them that goes down really well. We think Sonderland as an opener is a big opener. I think once people sort of like come to expect some of the new stuff, you know what I mean? I still think there's some, like I said, some COVID caution and stuff, so I think once people are like accustomed to like, oh, they can open with Sonderland, like they're playing all that new stuff now, and they kind of know what to expect.
It's weird to have not played a headline post releasing an album.
Yeah.
Because you usually have done that, and then you do a fest or whatever it may be, an all day or whatever, and it's just kind of like part of the catalogue. But to just kind of debut songs at a festival is almost random, and you're kind of like, do we play like greatest hits? Not that it's at that point, but do you play like the popular, or do you play? And it's a weird thing to try and like figure out what to play.
Well, I'm weird that you're at a festival where pretty much every band on the lineup is facing that exact same problem. It's just a weird.
We have
weird time,
like
it's just got to embrace it, right?
New songs that like haven't been played live, like. It does present a dilemma because like no matter how good that song is, the first time you play that song live or the first couple of times you play that song live, it's always going to be like new for the crowd and new for you, so it definitely takes some adjusting. I think like after you've played it 4 or 5 times, that's when I think you start getting more comfortable and fans can see that too. So it really is just giving these songs their first bit of daylight, really, and yeah, response has been great. And I think as long as we can mix that in with like some old favorites too, like it's still just as neck deep as it's ever been. You know, it's not too much of a like, oh my god, they're only playing new stuff, because it blends so well with the other stuff.
We're doing a good balance. I like
yeah, definitely. So yeah, it's good.
Definitely, man. And in terms of the album in general, you know, I know we chatted a bit around when it came out, but it's very much in the rear view now. And it was ambitious. It was a concept record. You had the story going through it, all tied in. How are you feeling about it now that we kind of moved on? Do you feel like that's an idea, a world you might revisit? Do you feel like the idea of a concept is something you maybe want to revisit again?
I don't know. I think like revisiting similar themes, definitely. Whether it's told through the lens of, because even I, to be honest, with that last record, like I think creating a character in a world just allowed me to be able to ultimately just write about myself. And like, I was kind of kidding myself that I wasn't writing about myself and I was writing about this character. It's like, no, it's totally about me. And so like, yeah, it'll definitely be similar themes and that sort of stuff. And I think like we can always allude to, and it's always something that I can use as a narrative device of like, oh well, I can set this in something, or I can make this new song about like this new area of something, you know. It's open-ended really, but I wouldn't want to like say, yeah, well definitely like we're just locked into that, but definitely something that we can look back at. And I think ultimately it just allowed me to write songs about myself, and now that I'm aware of that, it's like taught me that like, oh yeah, you can just kind of dive into your own head again and not have to like make up this excuse of a story and stuff. But I still love the exercise of doing that.
Oh, for sure. It was nice. It was nice to see you guys get ambitious with it. And actually, that's something I wanted to kind of talk to you about with these headline shows coming up, because it seems like from all the hints you're doing and everything, this is going to be kind of an ambitious theming around the stage show, which is something I've not seen you really do before. You know, you do the gigs, you do them very well, but this feels like tell me how much do you want to give away? Is it the staging? What's going on?
I think we've just done so many headlines now that we wanted to do something different or something a bit more themed, because the last time we played Brixton, for the UK at least, we got shown sort of like a catalogue of like what do you want to do in terms of like production, like fire, CO2 or sparklers and stuff, and we thought it was a proposal, so we all just said yes. We said yes to everything, so we ended
Which would you want? Yes.
We ended up having everything without realizing we said yes to a catalogue of things. So we had like sparkler wall, fire, CO2, lasers. It was ridiculous. And now we're kind of like, okay, we've done that, that's cool, but we can't really do it again. We want to do something more themed, and nothing kind of felt better or closer to home than we're at a point now where Seb, Ben's brother, is now in the band, who has kind of been a day one member. He's always been like the 6th member, now obviously a 5th member, and everything started in Seb's room from Ben and Seb writing songs. So it felt like, okay, if at least we've gone full circle, let's try and have some sort of
take it back to the roots in a way
of how it began, rather than doing some like random theme, whether it's, I don't know, we did speak about doing a Vegas theme for a minute.
Hang on. We're pausing there for a second. Neck Deep goes Vegas. Tuxedo.
No, that never ends well. It has not ended well for me ever.
Or anyone.
I think I was like, no, fuck Vegas. But no, we kind of decided like, yeah, it's kind of come full circle, and like, let's take it back to where the band started. But also, everyone's kind of been sat in their rooms all year doing nothing anyway.
It
so like,
hits harder now.
Yeah, and everyone is sort of, when you're either working on a creative project, like everyone knows the phrase of like, oh, if these walls could talk, sort of thing. Like, there's some sort of special energy that is held within Seb's room, I think, of like.
Definitely.
It feels like where so much of Neck Deep started and happened, and we just thought let's bring that back, and let's just try and make it fun as well, because like, we didn't want to do something that was like too alien from Neck Deep, and ultimately all we've really ever done is just like, we're a bunch of lads from nowhere started in a bedroom and don't really take anything seriously. So if we can make it a little wacky and fun and interesting, but also tie it into who we are, and that's what you want, because like, something is cool when it means something, when it has history and it has context. If you're just throwing something out there with no context and no meaning, it's just kind of like, oh well, that's that, It just doesn't really mean anything. So we just wanted to give it some context, wanted to give it some story, feel like we were kind of showing people a bit more of who we are, or at least trying to give them an idea of where we came from and who we are. And yeah, I think the idea of 5 lads just jamming in a bedroom is a pretty cool idea.
It's exciting, man. Yeah. I think it's going to be a really, really cool idea to see realised on stage like that. I'm intrigued. Those teasers definitely got me intrigued. I know it definitely.
Yeah, the artwork was great. We were stoked on the artwork. That was definitely like a good basis. Like, once we had that, we were kind of locked into doing the idea.
Oh my god, this is happening.
Guess we're on.
Oh shit!
We've said we're doing it, so now we got to do it. And so we're working on that right now, and yeah, we're putting all
Stoked.
together.
Can't wait.
Very, very excited. Well, I'll let you go, boys, and enjoy the weekend. But very excited to see you on those headline shows. Can't wait for when you eventually do go Vegas. That's going to be great. The Pop Punk Pack, or whatever you want to call it.
We'll
Full Vegas theme.
It's
You want
on
the
the back.
Big band in the back, right?
headline: Neck Deep, Go Broke.
neck deep go broke. Yeah,
I'm just
that
saying.
would be more accurate. See, when I said when we first heard Vegas, I thought, but I always lose it. Yeah, we need to put it in the context.
We
of
did
Live
once.
Go
This
Broke.
is a bad story, which this might be regrettable to air out. But years ago, I don't know if it was on Warped or a headline tour, but we decided.
Oh, I know.
We decided. Oh, do you know what?
This is just one
Let's-
bad Vegas story. This is
This
one
is just
of a
one.
bunch.
We said, let's take $1,000 from merch and go put it on black, and we can double our money, and then we put the $1,000 back in merch, and then we've all got $200. Then they're not even sorted.
What
and it was
could possibly go wrong?
such simple maths. And we get there, and it was like band and crew. So there was 12 of us around this table. There were three people
Bed space
playing.
now.
Three people playing. So like we disrupted their game because we all had to get ID'd. So it took about 15-20 minutes. These three people were fuming, and it took so long for them to ID and check everyone. There was so many staff running about. They thought it looked as if we were about to put $1 million down. Like that's the commotion that
the
was
high
going
rollers
on.
have walked in. Here they
It was
come.
ridiculous, and it's like all we have is $1,000, which in notes actually looks pathetic.
Yeah.
You know, it looks
Tiny file.
tiny.
Especially,
And we have
especially
this.
in Vegas, like
Of
you know,
course.
Yeah.
And we did that, and it was like, okay, so we're all going black, and then out of nowhere, Ben just goes, "Oh no, it's red," and then it's like 11 of us going, "Oh wait, I thought we were saying black," and Ben went, "Oh, I'm out then," because I would have said red, and then it starts spinning, red. I can't remember the number, but it hits red. $1,000 lost. And that was it. We were just done. It was like, okay.
I
we
think
lost
I
$1,000.
fucked it. I don't know if it was my bad juju on that just like
No,
fucked that
no.
up.
Vegas-
See,
Vegas
roulette's a
doesn't work
mug's
for us.
game. I'm calling it
It
right
is
now. It
as
is a
well.
mug's game. There's no right or wrong. There's no way to get around it.
And he was never.
I was never
He was
fully
never
down with
for
it
it
anyway.
to
I was
begin
kind
with.
of like,
He
I
was
mean,
kind
I
of
would
like,
have
this
put it
seems
on red.
irresponsible. This seems kind of dumb.
Well,
Let's take $1,000.
I
and
had
then-
learned from losing $1,000 of my own personal money on the trip to Vegas before then, and which I attribute to being one of the worst nights of my fucking life. Because also our bus had broken down and was stuck. Our bus aircon had broke, and it was sat cooking in the 46-degree Vegas heat all day.
I can see
and I had
why
to sleep
maybe
on
this
that after
Vegas
losing
thing
$1,000.
should be
You've hit a
abandoned.
nerve now.
I get it. I mean,
It's
this has
happening.
really gone down an avenue. All I wanted was a big band version of In Bloom, but we've gone down a whole different avenue the same there. Either way, boys, what you do have planned sounds amazing. So have a great weekend, and we'll
Thanks.
see you on that headline
Cheers.
tour very soon. all right?
Yes.
Neck deep, everybody.